What are you going to be doing in 9 seconds' time? Me? Well, I'm going to be doing 100 miles an hour.
This is the new Porsche 911 Turbo, already being hailed as the ultimate sports car. We've heard that before, and we'll hear it again. But on paper, this car really has the credentials to back up the claim. Porsche have tried to make the consummate all-rounder. For instance, it'll do 193 miles an hour, but it comes with 6 airbags. With 480 brake horsepower, it's the most powerful production Porsche ever. But it'll also do a respectable 25 miles per gallon on a run. And it'll get to 62 in a lightning 3.7 seconds, despite being one of the cleanest sports cars in the world.
Now, as you can imagine, the flagship of the range is bursting at the seams with technology that comes as standard, mostly beginning with P. First up, PSM, Porsche Stability Management. That's a system which stops the rear overtaking the front, ultimately keeping your right side up and out of the fields. Then we've got PASM, Porsche Active Suspension Management. That's an electronic damping program which will soften or stiffen the suspension depending on the type of road you're on. And then we've got PTM, Porsche Traction Management, another computerized system which will send power to whichever axle needs it most.
But here's the real headline, VTG, Variable Turbine Geometry. The trouble with turbos, and this car's got 2 of them, is lag. There's usually a delay between hitting the throttle and the turbo spooling up. But here the turbo blades are constantly altering their angle of attack, so they're always working at their most efficient. That means almost no lag, and lots of power. There's more riding on this test than normal, because I've got my name down on a new 911 Turbo. The basic price of the car is 98 grand, and I've already coughed up a deposit without even sitting behind the wheel.
Now, in terms of fit and finish, it's exactly what Porsche do best. Everything is beautifully made. But importantly, Porsche can spec this car exactly as you want it. Let's say, for instance, you really like this orange colour. You can ask them to say, right, I want this piece of leather exactly that colour. Likewise, I want this air vent. I want this in aluminium. I want this bit in carbon. This is a carbon accessory. Anything can be done. It doesn't cost an awful lot more, but it's just really nice stuff. Now, this car's got the optional sports chrono package at £1,000, and with that you get a ghastly stopwatch on top of the dashboard. We don't really like that, but you do get this little tiny sport button down here. Press that, you get an overboost on the engine, which gives you an extra 60 Newton meters of torque. Oh, it's phenomenal. Love it.
The overboost only lasts for 10 seconds. But frankly, 10 seconds is plenty. The only things you can't overtake in that time have got warheads.
Now, the old Turbo was a monster of a car. Almost at the time you thought, well, how can they better this? Well, they have. Wow, it is just phenomenal. God, I love this car. It's just unbelievable. It just doesn't stop. It's just not enough gears in the gearbox. I mean, she just keeps on going and going and going. For the majority of the time, it drives very much like a rear-wheel drive car. But if if it senses you need a little bit of traction on the front, it immediately sends a bit frontwards. But you can get the thing to oversteer. I'll show you. Can't do that in any other 4-wheel drives. There we go. Wow. One thing which this car is probably the best in the world is just how effortless and easy it is to drive at warp factor speeds. I mean, what are we doing there? We're doing 130 mile an hour on a little tiny track. You know, and I'm barely working up a sweat. Just the initial turn-ins, a bit light, a bit fluffy, almost a little bit unprecise. And then when you get on the loud pedal, it sorts itself out. honest.
With options like carbon brakes, this car costs a whopping £106,000. That's nearly 50 grand more than the basic 911. Can it possibly be worth it?
There are very few cars in the world that can get you from A to B in all conditions as fast as the new 911 Turbo. It rewards the skillful, flatters the amateur, transports you in style like no other in a safe and luxurious environment. And what's more, I reckon this car can turn John Merrick into Brad Pitt. I certainly won't be cancelling my order.